welcome Tamara and Royce.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
And I'm sure they'll be thrilled.
In the case of the core training, we've got you, Sharon. So we're able to make a few phone calls, we're able to get some more information, and you're able to shorten that period of time up because you give us the information that we need to be successful. All of a sudden, things start to work properly. You start to get a few new customer referrals, like what you told us would happen, because now the customers are seeing consistent service. And so you start thinking, hey, we may make it out of this anyhow. And, you know, before you know it, the fireworks are going off again, and you're more successful than you were when you started. People have to understand when you make major changes, when you innovate your business, you're going to go through a process like this. It's never going to be simple. It's never going to be easy, but it's worth it. The problem that people fall into is they get down to the bottom of the graph and they're like, I'm just going to quit. And you can't quit. That's the time you have to call for help.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I think that people are not understanding, because if we hadn't made a decision that we were going to do this, and both Royce and I are pretty like, once we decide something, we're going to do it, we're going to do it, although there were extremely discouraging moments. It took us, how many months would you say?
Probably 4.
Took us 4, maybe 5 months to get everybody to where they were doing what we wanted them to do. And there is a bunch of different pieces to that. One is they were resistant to change, which most human beings are resistant to change. And then secondly, I will say this, is that I believe there are a lot of learning disabilities in the population that we hire. So, and there are a lot of variable learning styles. So whereas somebody like myself, somebody like Royce, you can sit down, you read us a handout, we go out and we say, oh, okay, like you did it, okay, like you did at the workshop. You did that hour workshop. I came back, I revamped my business based on that workshop, you know. If you give these folks a handout and say, this is the way we need to clean, they're not going to do it. You can talk to them about it over and over until you go out and you're watching them clean and you're spending 8 or 10 hours watching each team clean and you're saying, no, don't do it that way. This is where you're supposed to be. You're not going to make that change. And we kind of did it in the house and talking about it and doing a little workshop at our house and stuff. And we did kind of like that at first, and we thought, this is not working. So there is a lot more, like, you have to be completely committed to, you're going to go through this. And we lost clients. There was a period of time in there that during the transition that I think our quality got worse before it got significantly better. And if we hadn't thought, well, you know, we know it's going to get better, we may have quit at that point in time. Because those kind of changes and transitions create a chaos of their own. And, you know, and people are like irritable because they're trying to learn this new thing and you're saying, no, you're not doing it right. So it was stressful.
There's a couple of things I would say about it. One is, if you aren't lying awake in bed at night at some point in time, then you aren't really innovating. That's just going to happen because it's just going to go through this process. The other thing is, you gave us a couple of benchmarks that at the time we said, I'd love to see that happen. One was that our complaints were going to fall to next to nothing.
And our referrals were going to go up.
And that our referrals were going to go up.
We're like, sure.
It is rare that we have complaints. We may have 1 or 2 complaints a month. And that's on, you know, between 300 and 400 cleanings a month. So that has totally changed. And when that happened, all of a sudden, we started getting referrals. So, you know, our business totally changed, not just in how we do it, which is a much better process, but also the quality of our business has completely changed.
What was the other benchmark that I gave you? Do you remember, Royce?
The referrals.
The referrals were the second one I have. Do you have
complaints go down, referrals
well, I was
go up.
wondering the square footage per hour that a cleaner can clean. I think you questioned that too and found that that was also true, correct?
Well, I tell you, it was very interesting. We were at a training not too long ago, and we were talking about square footage, and we were probably cleaning more square footage per hour than a lot of the other people there. So it's yeah, that's definitely the other piece that happens.